I first noticed Olivia's epilepsy when she was 2.5. She wasn't actually diagnosed until she was 4. She just started with, like, she was daydreaming really, and her eyes would just roll. School were noticing that she was missing a lot of chunks of work. When the rest of the class were writing things down, Olivia just had a scribble on her page where she'd gone off on a daydream. And her marks gradually began to get a lot lower than the rest of the class.
My daydreams felt quite weird because, like, you do learn something, and after you've had the daydreams, you'd have to carry on from what you've learned, and then you'd have to, like, keep the blank space, and you can't fill it back in. But it felt really scary and horrible at school because you felt like everyone else was normal, but you were the weird one.
We used to have to go wherever Olivia went just to make sure that she was safe, because nothing in particular triggers Olivia's epilepsy off. She can be doing absolutely anything, walking up and down stairs, making herself a drink, just playing out in the garden really, anything. We had to stop her doing a lot of things that normal children would be able to do, like riding a bike, riding a scooter, because you always had to be beside her in case she had an absence.
I would stay with someone and, like, do something which they were doing and help out and all that, but everyone else, I would watch everyone else what they're doing and, like, think, oh, I can't really do that, so I'll just be left out, kind of. And yeah, so I was the one, but I would be either doing homework or in my room doing stuff of my own which I could do.
When we were first offered the VNS, we were worried in case it didn't work, because Olivia's had a few different medications and she's had no results from, so we were in two minds of whether or not to go for it or not. We travelled up to the hospital on the Sunday and stayed overnight the Sunday night, and then Olivia had her operation 8 o'clock the Monday morning. She was a bit groggy to begin with, just wanted a drink, but once she came round properly she was fine. She didn't complain that she was in pain or she was sore or anything like that. From the VNS therapy we noticed that Olivia's was more alert, beginning to improve at school. Her seizures didn't begin to improve first for about 14 months, and then they started to reduce down to about 20 a day, to where before she was having 50 or 60 a day. Olivia has now been seizure-free for about 2.5 years. She had one just before Christmas, but that was just a couple of seconds, and then she came back out of it. When she first had the VNS therapy, we were using the magnet quite a lot, and at the moment we haven't had to use it for 2.5 years.
Since the VNS, I've been to Florida, which is in America, and I've been to Germany on my residential trip. In Florida, each of us got to kiss a dolphin and stroke them. It was really cool because you don't really get to kiss a wild dolphin every day. I didn't go with my mum and dad, but, like, there was these people and they're trained medically.
Olivia's school has improved at school now. Her grades are back up to where she should be for a child of her age. At home, she can do a lot more for herself. She can now go off and have a shower by herself and not have anybody in the bathroom with her. She can now go to the shops by herself, not too far. Go to the park with her friends, which she's never been able to do. She's been doing that for the last 6 months.
All my friends would be independent, and then I would have to have a teaching assistant everywhere I go. Basically, the aim for my school now is for me not to have a TA and me being independent, kind of. But I'm halfway there because I do half stuff on my own, and then stuff I can't do, my TA will help me with. Before I had the VNS, I really struggled with, like, maths and English, but now I'm like I'm halfway in between the top set and the middle set. So I'm kind of up with my friends where I want to be in the classes which I want to be with my friends.
My advice for somebody that was being offered the VNS therapy would be to look into it and definitely go for it. My child's life has been totally changed by it.
For the future, it's looking good for me because I want to be a vet and I'm halfway getting the grades, and my epilepsy's like calmed down as in I'm a different person, so it feels like I just don't look back on the past, I focus on the future.